Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and this is our weekly Tuesday live. And I'm scrambling to get on, so I'm a little bit disheveled. I just came back on Market Basket, and it was crazy. And so I got back here, and so now I have everything everywhere. But we hopefully have everything we need to make this fun card. So I'm just going to give it a few seconds for you guys, replay watchers, just to make sure that I actually hooked everything up right. And I'm just waiting to see that someone joins in to make sure that the sound is working, that the video is working. There we go, Kim. Excellent, thanks. Hi. Excellent. Okay. So let me just even think. I don't even have any notes today. Don't let me forget, I'm going to pull the random, I'll do it a little bit when more people on, but I have all the names of who entered into the mystery host party. Yesterday was the last day. I said on October 1st, I would pull a name. So I have, there's a whole bunch of names that I don't want them to all fall out. There's a whole bunch of names in there. So I will do that before we're done. Hi, Cindy. Excellent. All right. So we're working on Facebook. We're working on YouTube. Perfect. Okay. So I saw a card on Stampin' Up has different challenges and they share different things. And a lot of times I share on my Facebook page different things. I think I even shared one this morning with that new Sentimental Christmas. Actually, they make kind of cool bookmark tag things that I liked. But maybe I think it was last week, I shared, I think they call it Stampin' Up Creative Challenge. And it was a card, and I was drawn to it, and I quickly wrote, maybe I'll do that next week's Facebook Live. So here we are. So this morning, full disclosure, I decided to kind of figure out how to do it. So I had very little products of what they used. So I'm improvising. And so after the video, or the live, when I post the pictures of what, I always post a picture of what we make. I will also post a picture side by side of the Stampin' Up challenge one, so you can kind of see them back and forth or next to each other. And I think I did a pretty good job copying it, but I think the only thing I used was the stamp set. I think everything else I didn't have. So we'll see how I do. All right, so let me push this back here. I don't always like the light in my face here. Put that there. Perfect. Okay. Hey, Nancy. Thanks for joining in. And everyone else who's joining in that hasn't said hi. So this is not exactly the card. This is the card I came up with. It's not exactly the same card as what they made, but you will see when I post them side by side that they're pretty similar. So some of the differences is, actually, I'll show you what they used. Hi, Tracy. So I'm thinking they're just stamped on regular paper, but oh no, as I discovered this morning, and I don't even have them. They used this. And so they stamped on this one. So this is called Gold Dipped Mix and Match Cards and Envelopes. And I know Anne has them because I know she did some examples with it, but they're kind of cool. So there's a little kind of watercolored look, both on the envelopes and the cards, and you get the gold on it. So they used this one, but I'm going to show you what I did, excuse me, to get this card. And so hopefully you can see there you go. There's some gold on the bottom. So, so that's what we're doing. Okay. I have my markers. We're going to color in. I don't need those anymore. Some inks. I'm going to use a blender brush. And hopefully I brought everything up. Remember I said last week, like, things weren't up here. So hopefully everything's here. So I have my chamois, because we're going to use that to wash off the surface. I have my cardstock. I don't think we need that. I was saying, if you joined in live, I had kind of just quickly came in. I went food shopping before this, and it was crazy there, so it took longer than it should have. So I put all the cold stuff away, and everything else is on the floor in the kitchen. Okay. So we're going to use the, there we go, Graceful Deer stamp set. So I bought this last year. This is a carryover item. It is a large stamp, like it's a background stamp. But you can highlight it. So you can use it as a background, or you can use it kind of as a focal point, which is what we're going to do today. And we are going to stamp on boho blue. And I have extras just in case. All right, so Let me move that aside. So I read, so it's on my Facebook page. It's down a little bit because I shared it last week and there's other things on there. But it did give you directions on what they did, or it kind of stated what they did. So they said they used a blending brush to blend on the ink, which I've never done blending on an ink pad or a stamp set, excuse me, onto, in that they use that other pretty paper. But so we're just going to use boho blue paper. And so I'm using, I tried it with, they said to do it with Misty Moonlight ink, which is nice, but the paper that they used was kind of more white. And so I tried the boho blue and it was too light. So this is, it's, kind of creating a shadow look, which is what was cool. So I'm using Misty Moonlight, which is a little bit darker for the boho blue. All right, so we don't need that just yet. So we're going to use our blending brush. I'm just going to go in circular motions, and we're just going to color right on our stamp. So you don't get quite as dark of an image as if I was to put ink to stamps, but that's we don't want it to be as dark. So, all right, so you can kind of see, I think you can see blue all on there, but now I want it to have this kind of darker on the bottom, and we'll add some more and lighter on the top. So I'm just going to add just some more ink on the bottom, on like the bottom of this deer and this whole deer. All right. Hopefully that's enough. All right, and so we're going to stamp. Oh, I knew I just did that. Look at ink onto paper, or thumb onto paper. So let's wash my thumb first before we do anything. All right, and now we're going to stamp. Just want to make sure that I get this deer on the paper. I do have extra pieces just in case it's not dark enough. Okay, that's okay. All right, so I'm going to put this aside. So that is lighter than it would be if we went ink to paper, but we kind of want it to have that, I'm just thinking it's like a misty kind of morning, and so we want that. So now we're going to add some more blue because that paper they used had the blue on, it's like sideways, but they had the blue on it, and so we're going to create our own darker blue. We're just going to add some more. And I always start, usually I have scratch paper, but the glass mat works. So I usually start on the bottom, or off the paper rather, and then work my way up in a circular motion. Make sure I don't do another thumbprint. And you can go as high as you want because it's kind of like an ombre look. I'm going to go the other circular motion to kind of blend it out. Now we're going to put something on top of this, so he's kind of really going into the background, but that's okay. I want a little bit more up here. And maybe on this side. So we're just creating that fog or that morning mist look. All right. So it looks unfinished, but don't worry because we have that edge, but we're going to put some gold on top of that. And then that looks kind of messy, but oh, of course I have a little mark there. We're going to put our deer on top of that. Darn it. Okay. If I was doing this on my own, I probably would do another one, but I might just put something on top of that. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is, actually I already did it because I'd have to clean the stamp. So I already stamped this same deer on just scrap white with early espresso ink. And so now we're going to color it in, and you can color your, I think they used think they call it the mediums of the skin tones, and I don't have those, so my pecan pie I thought worked pretty well. So I'm going to start with the light first. I'm going to go over. So this is early espresso ink, so I'm just going right over, which kind of creates the darkness that you want anyways. And I'm just coloring the deer, nothing on the background because we're going to cut them out. All right, so that's just one layer of the light. And so now I'm going to add a little bit of the dark pecan pie on its belly. And I'm going to do kind of circular motion because usually the bellies have that. And then just, so the early espresso, you probably can't see, it's slightly bleeding, but that's okay because we're doing brown on brown. So I don't mind that little bleeding. Even if it goes out the lines, we're going to cut it out, so that doesn't matter. So if you ever use like a regular ink pad to do blends, just kind of keep that in mind that it will bleed a little bit. So you want to have it so it's kind of similar tone. All right. So there's my coloring of my deer. Hey, Debbie. And I already cut one out. So I just cut it with scissors. Normally, a lot of times when I cut, I use a little white background, like, or a white border around things, but not on this one, because then you would see the white border on here. So I just cut it right on the line, just with my scissors. So that we're going to put right on top, and it already looks pretty sharp. So I'll put that aside because I'll make another one for later. So again, they had used the card bases already that had that blue and stuff. Oh, actually, I think they used some other paper. I don't know what it was. It almost looked like wild wheat background, plaid. And you'll see it when I post a picture, but I didn't have it. So I looked to see what paper I had, which, you know, we always have paper. And so I thought that this is from the A Little Latte paper, and so it's all really kind of coffee themed, but I liked this swirl because it's a similar color to my deer. So that's what we're going to use as our back layer. So this is just a standard card. You know what? Too late now. All my blending. Forgot that you need to wash it before you do anything. Okay. Usually I use scrap. All right. So this is just a regular layer, so 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to put that straight on. And I don't know, Jenny, if you're watching, but do you see that glue? That's all I used. Or for anyone who thinks they use too much glue, that's all the glue I used for my layer. Jenny and I were having a conversation yesterday about glue. All right. So that goes on like that. So I'm actually going to pop that up. So I'm not going to put it on yet. So now we need to add our gold bottom because I was mimicking this kind of gold bottom of that note card. So what I came up with, where is it? Here it is. So I just cut a strip, and to be honest, this could even be the old brass. I think it's the old brass, but the gold is very, very similar. So we are going to use, I looked to see what edging dies I had. Now I could just cut it with scissors to fill a shape. So if I don't have a die that I'm looking for, you can definitely cut it with scissors. Sorry, I was just reading this one. Nancy wrote, "No wonder we are friends. I get ink everywhere." Yeah, no kidding. I get glue everywhere too. We're best of friends, Nancy. We'd be in trouble if we lived near each other. All right, so I'm going to use this die. And so this is from, I think it's called Beach Days. It's the one that has the lighthouse. I didn't bring the stamp set up, but it goes with the surfboard and the lighthouse, not the lighthouse, the lifeguard house, excuse me, has the palm trees. So it's definitely a summer. And it has this die, which is really, I think, to mimic like the sand. And it has this wave one also. We've used that before, but I'm going to use this one. Yes, Nancy, we would get in so much trouble if you lived, or if we lived near each other. All right, I have no place to put that. Okay, so I'm going to use whichever machine is closest. It looks like my mini machine is closest. So I'm going to grab that one. But I do have my big machine up here now, so I don't have to worry about running up and down. But this is not, oh, here we go. I forget which ones we use. I think we need this one. Die and regular emboss. This and 2 clear. So you guys are probably thinking she doesn't know what plate she's using. So for the mini machines, for some reason, so you get all the plates back. You get all, you know, the plates, which are just like the big machines. So this, but they're just thinner and little. So this one is like the big thick white one that we have. And then this one's for the 3D embossing folders, and you get your 2 clear. And then you get this gray one, which I guess is for embossing folders also. And they tell you what they are for, but for some reason that the mini machines, they don't always line up with what they say on the fronts. So what I did is I figured out which plates work best for which reasons of the embossing folders and for cutting. And then I wrote it down because I would forget. So I couldn't be more clear. Die cutting, this plate and 2 clears. So that's what I want. I have no problem writing on my tools. All right, so now we're going to put this on top of here. And I'm going to try to keep it straight. Because now this just, oh, better. Yeah, this just feeds in. The other way, sometimes, again, in each machine's different, so some of the machines might work how they say, but before we were trying to finagle it, and so that's what I came up with. All right, so we get this shape, and it only cuts the top, which is kind of cool, actually, if you wanted to put things layering, but for this purpose, we don't. So I'm just going to cut that and cut this. And again, I can actually use both sides. I'll use that for another card, but I'm going to show you what I did. I actually, because it makes this impression, yeah, you can kind of see it, which I don't want you to see. So I'm just going to use my paper trimmer to cut it. And this is what I was looking for. I'm pretty sure I put, where did it go? You guys see washi tape on my table anywhere? I don't want to lose that. Okay, well, I know it's here. Oh, I can use a Post-it note. No, the washi tape's here. So this is obviously a very long piece to cut, and I'm going to cut straight on the line, so that impression, so I'm going to put that impression in the cutting track of both the top and the bottom. Then I'm going to use, I was going to use washi tape, but I'm just going to use a Post-it note because it moves. And so now I'm just going to cut it, so then I get that shape. Okay. So here we go. So now we're going to put that on the bottom. I wonder, just wondering, oh, you know what? I'm just thinking here. Might be too much. I was trying to think how to cut my piece, but actually, all right, I'm gonna actually just trim it. Look, I got smudge here. I just got a smudge there. I think the gems I have, we're not going to cut that. So I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. No one's even ever going to know if you don't tell them that this is a little skinnier than my first sample. Look at, you're not even gonna know. No one will ever know. All right. So I'm gonna put the gold. I'm gonna put just a little glue right on the bottom. So there's the glue right on the bottom. And then I'm gonna decide kind of where I want that to go. And stick it on there. And then I'm just going to put a block there just to let it dry. And now I'm going to put a little bit of glue, and I'll hold it up so you can see. Tiny, tiny dabs of glue, like one on each ear, on the leg. That might even have been too much. All right. So do you see those tiny dots of glue? And now I'm going to put the deer right on top of it. Versus, I could have put the glue on here, but I have a feeling I would have gotten sticky as I put it down. So I'm just putting it. I have to make sure that I cover up. Then I'm going to put this block on top just to give it a good press. Make sure it's flat. Okay. And that should be good. Well, we have a new viewer, and I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce your name. I want to say hi to you. I'm not going to pronounce it right. Igzy. Hello and welcome. I like it when we have new viewers and you introduce yourself, so I get to know you guys. All right, so I just trimmed the gold off there. So now I'm going to use dimensionals. There we go. Just to pop it up. I just cut my fingernails last night, so let's see how well they come off. And I have more blue on my fingers. All right, so you could put it on straight, but I kind of liked it on the diagonal, partly because when you guys see the one I was copying from, they had their straight, but then they had other paper on the diagonal behind it. So it just gives it a little bit of visual interest. So let me do the inside, and then we'll just do the happy birthday on the front. So I just cut, because this is a dark color, we have the early espresso, unless you use a white marker. You need some lighter color on the inside. And then what I did, just for something different, I had these little scraps, because originally I was going to have this paper to go to the edge, but I actually kind of liked it broken up. So I'm just going to put that on top like that. And again, I'm just going to put the glue right along the edge of the white and a little bit on the blue. Actually never done the strip overlapping before, but I kind of liked the look. And then we'll just trim it. And this will go on the inside. And it kind of brings the colors from the front to the inside. So there's the inside, just with a nice little coffee strip. And then we are going to, I have the strips here, just on scrap paper. And I'm going to use the same Misty Moonlight that we used. And I have a happy birthday stamp. This is from, I think, Round We Go, the one that has those medallion rosettes. And I'm just going to cut it around the letters. So I could search for a die, or I could have just cut on, a smaller rectangle piece. But I thought we would just do this. And again, it kind of mimics the one I was copying. They used a darker, probably navy blue paper, and they embossed their happy birthday with white embossing powder. But I did mine differently. And so there's really no kind of rhyme or reason. You just kind of cut around the edges of the letters. And then we'll just pop it up. And then we'll put a couple little gems on it, and then we're done. And I just think it's a nice birthday card, but really it's kind of on the masculine side with the browns and the blues. That could be for anybody. So we're just going to pop that up. And I'm seeing if I had mini ones, but I really like using these foam strips for when you have something little. And I'm just, because you can actually move them around. So if you have a curve, you can kind of manipulate them a little bit. And again, I could have that go straight, but I kind of like it following the curve of the paper. And then lastly, these are kind of cool. I don't know if you're going to see the detail in them. These are the pecan pie and clear ribboned dot. You might not. I don't know if you're going to see it, but it's almost like there's a ribbon behind them. So there's a little texture in there. So they're kind of cool. And so I'm going to, oops, kind of just copy what I did. I should be using that putty. It works a little bit better than the, all right. So there we go. So we have our nice gold on the bottom. So you really can't tell, I don't think, that this one's a little bit skinnier because I cut off that smudge than this one. I'll see if I can blend that in there. And then we have that inside too. So it's kind of cool. I'd never used the blending brushes directly on a stamp before. So you just get a lighter look, which is sometimes a really good thing. All right, so let me pop myself back on here. All right, there we go. Move that light out of the way. So let me tell you, before I pick the prize, I wrote in my email this morning, we have a kit sale going on. So all kits, even the ones that came out today, and I need to order those, are on sale. So up to 30% off all crafting kits. So like that ornament one I was talking about 2 weeks ago, this card kits. So the card kits are project kits, just not paper pumpkin. I think that's the only kit, not the scrapbook workshop kits, but really what we call kits. Those are all 30%, up to 30% off for the month of October, which is pretty cool. If you are interested in the Paper Pumpkin monthly subscription, so that's another kit, more cards than not. I think they're almost all cards now. Different projects each month come right to your mailbox, and so I think those are $25 a month, which includes shipping, which is kind of cool that it includes that. But anyways, if you're brand new to it, your first kit will be 40% off if you sign up, but you have to sign up by October 10th and use the promo code holiday40. And that is all on my blog in my my newsletter this morning. And all right, so that was going on. The kits was going on. Oh, there's a joining offer if you guys are interested in joining Stampin' Up. And there's many reasons to join Stampin' Up, but there's also many ways of doing Stampin' Up. So you could be just what they call hobbyist. So you just do it for your own hobby, all the way up to kind of what I do, or even further up the line. So there's lots of that. So if you want to talk about that, I'd be happy to chat with you about that. But that promotion is, let's see, the starter kit is $99, and that's the regular price, and it's a good price any day of the year. And normally you choose $125 worth of products. So that's a savings, and you get free shipping, and you get actually a complimentary paper pumpkin kit. But for October, you can pick $155 worth of products for $99, and you still get the free shipping, the complimentary paper pumpkin kit in Catalogs to Share. So it's awesome. So if you're interested in that, contact me, or there's links on my blog and all that kind of stuff. I'll tell, excuse me, talking too fast. I'll talk more about that during the month too, but it's kind of cool. All right, so the mystery host, September's mystery host. So there's, I didn't count, but there was like a whole, my whole sheet of my junior legal pad, like every line was full. So there's a lot of people who did it. So thank you. And I wish you all luck. The Stampin' rewards are $166. So whoever is chosen in a second gets to choose $166 worth of products for free. And if they even want to apply some of $99 of that towards a joining kit, you can do that too, which is cool, and then get the other stuff. So yeah, so it's awesome. So, all right, so I'm going to randomly, they're all mixed up. Just pick one, this one. And she's watching. Debbie Hanson, you are the lucky mystery host. I'm so excited for you. That's awesome. So yeah, so you can let me know what you want. You can pick up to $166 of products. Plus, actually, if you want, you can also get a 50% off item additionally, not part of the 166, but an additional item for half off. If you're interested in applying the $99 towards a joining kit, and then I'll do my math, $67 could be for other products. So you pick 155 of, anyways, we can chat, Debbie. That's getting confusing for me to say all online, but congratulations. I'm awesome. Oh, she's saying a belated birthday gift. So that's awesome. So yay, I'm glad you were watching live. All right, so I will post a picture of the card I just made plus the card that I copied from. I'll do them kind of side by side so you can see the differences. And I'm going to take a breath. Thank you very much for watching. So I will be live next Tuesday. Someone suggested a shaker card. We'll see if I do the shaker card next week or the week after, but we'll do something fun. So again, thanks for watching. If you have questions about anything, just send me an email, Christine@mailsomethingpretty.com, and I'd be happy to chat. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.